Hello and welcome to another edition of 2A Radio Roundtable. We have with us in studio some Liberian students all the way from Kigali, Rwanda. And so, if you are just joining us, I'm your presenter, Pastor Patience, and for the next 30 minutes, we will be in discussion with these students. Share the broadcast and make all your comments as we continue our discussion. So we want to say welcome. Nelson, you are welcome. And your team in the background want to say welcome all the way from uh, Minnesota, USA. So welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you,
I'm
Pastor.
gonna give you time, and you and your team, or you and your friends, so you can just briefly introduce yourselves, and then we move forward from there. So you want to let our viewers know who we're talking with, and we continue the broadcast.
Okay, thank you, Pastor. So my name is Nelson Tieto Jr. and I come from the southeast of Liberia, that is Sano County, and I am the executive director for the National Youth Development Program, that is NYDP, is a youth organization in Liberia that is charged with the responsibility of creating local programs for young people, programs of community initiatives, program that has to do with the elimination of violence in all forms, capacity building, or different kinds of events. And I also serve as a volunteer for a disabled focused nonprofit local organization in Liberia called the Destined Case Assistance Program, DECAP Liberia, where I serve as a volunteer working there in order to engage stakeholders as it relates to addressing issues that concerns women and children. Also, I work in the area of the media where we also engage the media, both the radio and the public as it relates to seeking the rights of people living with disability, promoting their interests as it relates to livelihood development, and that of promoting small micro loan programs that will help people living with disability, particularly they and their children. So this is much about me, and I'm also in Rwanda, East Africa, studying where I studied development studies and policy at the Kigali Independence University in Rwanda, Kigali to be precise. I'm doing my master program here. I came here 2021. That is last year. And since then, there have been numbers of great things. Thank you so much for inviting me to your platform.
You are welcome, Nelson. We want to have the other young Liberians in there so they can also introduce themselves. If everyone
Okay. So
close to
let
you,
me first provide the platform to Emmanuel
yeah,
as he to go through his introduction.
okay.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good
Can you get
afternoon,
me?
Emmanuel. You are welcome. We want to know who you are.
Okay, thank you. I'm Emmanuel T. Zopeon from Nima County, Republic of Liberia. I'm also studying development study in Rwanda, Kigali.
Uh, Anthony James Jensen, he just joining us. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. And we in conversation this morning with Liberian students in Kigali, Rwanda. So, my question here to you, Nelson, and the same question will go to Emmanuel. How did you find yourself in Kigali?
All right, that is a good question. So, few years back, between 2019 to 2020, I I was actually thinking about where to go and what to do after my bachelor degree. So coming from a youthful background, I started volunteering with an institution called Yono Liberia. That is the youth initiative. So Yono Liberia particularly has a program that promotes education. Particularly, Yono has an agent in Rwanda and other parts of Africa where they engage universities on scholarships and that are partial scholarship programs and thinking how to help Liberian students who are seeking international opportunity. So as a volunteer with Yono Liberia, I've tried to inquire how is it possible that I can become part of that program, that opportunity. So when I got the information that once I have my bachelor degree and a particular amount of money that can permit me to enroll on the scholarship and attend a school in East Africa, I saw that as an opportunity for me.
Yeah.
Though I did not start on the scholarship. No, the scholarship wasn't afforded to me because I wasn't able to generate the particular amount that they were asking for. However, because of the zeal that I had in studying, imagine a child coming from Liberia, particularly coming from college, and understanding the social economic challenges we face in Liberia there.
Mm.
So I decided that no, I can't stop here after BSc. There's a need that I go and further my study. So since you don't have the program and I'm not able to get on this scholarship, what I would do is that I would like to know other Liberians who have benefited from this program in East Africa that I can communicate with them to know how they too can help. So when
Yeah.
I communicate with few Liberians that on this side, they told me that okay, apart from your program, we too can help you. We can go directly to the school and appeal for numbers of you guys who are back home that wants to come, and that is you guys will not be paying the processing fee anymore because there's something that is created called processing fee for people who wants to come from Liberia in order to create a smooth process where
Mhm.
you pay that money, they get your document and send your document to East Africa, and their agent here will be the one to run after that program for you. So,
Okay.
so in order to avoid the processing fee and other, expenses, I had to communicate directly with Liberians here, and they too came in to help me. So they explained to me how the school system is looking here, and I too building the interest. I try to compare and contrast the education system of East Africa and that of Liberia, and
Mm.
I built sufficient interest in coming to Rwanda, particularly the most private institution in Rwanda to study here. This is how I generated my interest, and I found myself here in Rwanda.
Good, good. Interesting story. What about you, Emmanuel?
Well, I was informed by one of my colleagues who came here previously a year ahead of me. So when he told me that, and then we went through the calculation, the understanding was the school is not expensive as compared to Liberia in doing master, like enrolling in according to the UL in back home. So after the analysis, comparative analysis, I decided to come this side. So I got the information from a colleague of mine.
Okay, that's good. Jensen?
Yeah. Okay. I know. Thanks, guys, for taking the challenge to leave Liberia, and you are in Kigali. How is life there generally? What would you say? Besides the school, how's the environment? How's comparing the environment to Liberia? How is that?
Well, I will tell you two to three different things, and think these points will cover almost all of what you want to know. So when it comes to the living standard, comparing Liberia with Rwanda, I would say to you, we are gradually, trying to catch up with Rwanda when it comes to the living standard, because one day the population in Rwanda is estimated at 13 million, and we have 5.6, 5.7 during the census to be conducted. So there are so many poverty reduction strategies that help the population, particularly the citizens of Rwanda, that makes life better here when it comes to housing, right? The houses, there are numbers of houses that are affordable as compared to what we have in Liberia if a person is to rent a house. So, for example, a bedroom house, one bedroom house in Rwanda to where I stay is $50. So I pay 50 US dollar. That is, 50,000 Rwanda francs, and that constitute electricity and water bill. So
Okay.
everything is
Wow.
in 50 US dollar, and that cannot be compared to what is in Liberia. Liberia should be huge than that. When it comes to the health system, it's also different. Wherein all of the citizens of Rwanda are on insurance, and from my research, I have to understand that the people of Rwanda, the citizen paid 3K. That can be compared, or converted to $3 US for what we call citizen insurance on health. So
Okay.
this is paid for a year. For a year, they just pay
Wow.
$30 US equivalent because the rate here is 1 to 1.
Okay.
So $5 US is it can be converted to 5,000 Rwanda francs. So the health system here for their citizens is much better than our country. At the same time, we from Liberia as international students, we find a bit challenging because we are not on insurance.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we get sick, we go to hospital. Things become a little difficult when it comes to the charges.
Okay.
The charges become huge for us. Like
Yeah.
the last time I was at the hospital where I was diagnosed with ulcer, and when the lab result came along with the cost,
Hmm.
I was expecting the cost should be around a 50 US dollar,
Mm.
and just for the test was around 150 US dollar. So I never had that money for
Mm.
which I had to call other people in to help just for a test. So imagine that. I want to say that it's a bit challenging here when it comes to that for us as compared to Liberia to where we come from. And the reason is very simple. In Liberia, you go there, you're not supposed to go to a bigger hospital depending on your economic stability, your economic strength. So in Liberia, you go there. If you are if you are diagnosed with malaria right away, they start to treat you. Here is different. Here, if you are diagnosed, you will have to pay all of the bills before you can be treated. Liberia, you don't have to pay all, you have to pay some of the bill and you are treated. So it's different. And when it comes to the infrastructure and road connectivity, I want to say that we are surely walking behind Rwanda because Rwanda is far ahead of us when it comes to road connection, when it comes to infrastructure development, when it comes to communication, the digital communication, internet. Right now I'm using a Wi-Fi here that costs about 50 US dollar for the module and 25 US for a month for the subscription. So if you pay the 25 US for a monthly subscription, you use this for the entire month, no matter the length or how many people, the capacity.
Right.
So it doesn't matter how many people use it, it goes for the particular time that it is meant for. When we compare that with our country, if you pay for a module or a router and use it, depending on how you use it, it gets expired even before the time it was
Right.
meant to
Right.
use.
Hmm.
Right.
So this
Okay. I think that's good. You are giving us a real summary of what is happening in Rwanda. Let's get back to the purpose for which this program is being held. What are you studying, and why did you make that decision to study what you studying?
okay, thank you again for the question. So as actually study development studies and policy is what I'm doing for my master program.
Okay.
And to answer the question why I choose to study in the field that I'm studying is very simple. So when you look at our country,
mm,
there are so many problems that is within our country. And some of those problems that I face, or that we are faced with, it has to do with, I mean, the lack of policy and proper implementation. So my bachelor degree, I got it in education and curriculum development as an educator,
okay.
but then the same time, I get to understand that Liberia is facing a serious problem as it relates to policy development. Numbers of things that are happening in our country is happening because the educated people who are there to, I mean, to seek the interest of the masses, the public, that is the policy makers.
Hmm.
They are not creating policies that are in the best interest of the people. They are not creating those policies that meet the people's interest, that meet the voices of the people. Another thing is that the formulation of how they create policy are not meeting the consensus of those people. So it needs inclusion. And the implementation process is still a challenge. So coming outside to learn, I mean, policy and development. Liberia is a developing country. I think these ideas and methods used here is a way to, I mean, to copy how they are developing and
Hmm.
how we can carry back to our country and institute these ideas within our systems, or educate people who are from within the system that, okay, Rwanda is in Africa and Rwanda is going far in development. Why? This is what they are using. These are the methods. And I think this is the right path we can use to do. We might not take all, but this is what I think we can use in order to help Liberia to become developed. This, I mean, these are reasons for which
How
I
long is your
choose it.
program? How long is your program?
The master program here lasts for 2 years. So I'm here for 2 years.
2 years. And thereafter, what you going to be doing?
So after the 2 years, I intend to go back to Liberia, with the ideas from the development study area, with the idea of, I mean, infrastructure development, with the idea of community initiative. I run an organization in Liberia, like I said in my introduction, called the National Youth Development Program.
Hmm.
So purposely, I intend to go back and start with my organization as it relates to how development is like here when it comes to the youth sector, to institute these ideas with my organization firstly, build a partnership of how we both can work together, and that of, I mean, approaching society with my idea in a private public partnership cooperation.
That's good. We can hear from your friend too. I mean, you can tell more about what you're studying and why you decided to study in the field.
Thank you very much. In our country, with every sector we have, we face challenge of improving it.
Hmm.
So from my angle, if I go back to Liberia, seeing the development, the infrastructure development, how the people are organized and arranged in doing things in the right manner so that that country can improve and have good image
So
in the international.
are you studying development studies too, development programming or whatever?
Sure, that's
Oh,
good.
okay. Okay. Continue, sir.
So yeah, we will have to go back with the strategy, sitting down with policymaker to tell them that look, we can't keep doing this, and then we feel that it will improve. So we will have to work around the clock with what we are seeing
Hmm.
to at least bring all the good ideas so that our country too can be almost like you right now, because those people are far ahead of us based on service delivery, because they don't have some of the things we have back home, but because of service and commitment to the country, development is working better for them. So
Okay.
we'll have to go back, yes, and then at least uh, try to do some of the things that we have already seen so that our country can be on path. So I started development study to go and have some impact in the life of Liberians and that of myself, so that our country can be at least compared to other countries around Africa.
Okay. Patient?
So how is the people like? How's the reception? Because sometimes when you travel to a strange place, the way they receive you is different. Like Liberia, I know we Liberians, we like strangers. We always open our arms to people. whenever you see someone new, Liberia, by the time they see someone new, oh, they giving them, we are open to, direction. We like, you treat somebody like you would treat your family member. That's how we treat strangers. So how is it like compare with Kigali, the people there?
Okay, here is a little bit better because the people here are very peaceful. They talk softly to people. They are constructed in approaching people. It's just most similar to Liberia, but the other thing that must end a little bit strange, in Liberia, you wake up from bed, you see your neighbor, you greet them, and,
Yeah.
and move. But here, to speak to people is much difficult. You see people just, sometimes pass by you and stuff, but that general reception towards people is kind of good, right? It's kind of good. They are soft, they are homo.
Okay.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, some
Um,
some 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 places like that, it's like, I can say it's almost the same thing here. It's hard for people to greet you. They just, if they don't have business with you, I mean, they'll just pass by you. So
True.
that's not a strange thing, right, Jesse?
yeah, when I entered America, New York, I was wondering what are people living because everybody in their homes
Yeah,
right next door to you. You don't even know what are children in the home, so it's not strange when I hear these
yeah.
things. But I mean, I'm looking at the campus. How is the campus like? Is it a place where are the some barrier. I know, and sometimes we are ashamed of these things to say it, but sometimes like you enter in an environment is a little different. The campus, some of the presentation of the lesson or the courses, sometimes like very difficult. Are you finding it difficult to understand, the instructional materials? Or you just, I mean, you are on top of things. Liberians are smart people. How is it like,
Thank you very much for that. Actually, like when they are good, right? In presentation, in relating to the lesson, we are okay, right? But some of the challenge, the campus is also good. If you check the Independent University of Kigali, you see the campus space, you say, wow, it's
okay,
more bigger picture than even the University of Liberia, right?
okay,
But then the challenge is the people just, adapted, or let's say English few
okay,
years back. So
okay,
the teacher used to speak French as a
okay,
general language. So
mm,
after some time, when they adapt English, the asking or teaching sometimes can be a problem, right? Where somebody will be explaining, and then you say, "Wow, what he's saying," it's something like sometimes you will take it a bit like
okay,
French.
okay.
Yeah. So that is a little challenge I think we can face sometimes, but sometimes you tell the other, you say, "Please help me," what you are saying, I don't understand. Then you will have to go over here and explain better to you. But on the overall, the instructional material, the license is good. It's good. Actually, it's good. But
So it's
I
like
think
it's like it's like most of you, I know people from the English speaking countries. It's like you are helping other students, teaching them, grammar and something like that.
yeah.
So to answer the question that you asked, I will tell you it's in 2 to 3 ways.
Okay,
The first way has to do with the language barrierness,
right,
and it seems to be a challenge for us who come from a country like Liberia where we speak English as our
mm,
major language.
right,
So for East Africa, and I mean, people here speak French mostly in many East African countries. I mean, they speak French.
okay,
Despite people, I mean, despite the major language in Rwanda is Kinyarwanda. I mean, that's their general language.
okay,
Now, that's the dialect. That's the dialect they use here, Kinyarwanda. But then you understand their pathway they come from on the French speaking countries.
okay,
So overall, they still speak French. Now, in Liberia, we speak English only, and French has been something that has been a challenge to many students from primary level all the way to university.
mm,
So when you come in a country like this, it becomes difficult for you to understand French. and to even understand other languages that they
Right.
speak here.
Hmm.
So day two is becoming something that is difficult for them, especially running an international school
Right.
and speak French and just Kinyarwanda. So they are still coping with the system and at the same time trying to adjust as international facilitators, wherein because of the international students, you have to teach in English.
Right.
So at times when they want to speak, they have to put it in their language, and then they will have to relay back in English to we Liberians and other international students. That's one part of A. The second part of A has to do with the teaching methodology. The teaching methodology, it is different, right? So
Hmm.
you find out that in Liberia, what I have noticed, let me be very frank with you, it's not that we don't have qualified instructors in Liberia. We have very qualified instructors. How we can assess that is from the students that come here or other countries that they go. So you find out that Liberians are making, I mean, huge contribution, progress in learning here. Our grades are all on tight.
Okay,
It
that's good.
tells that the foundation that we come from Liberia is a solid foundation. It's a very solid foundation. We are competing to that of other international students that are here. Our grades are, I mean, on top of other students. But then the teacher's presentation is that kind of different. So in Liberia, our instructors have more experience on the teaching field, more experience. These guys are academically inclined. They go from school to school, just building themselves, and in the end, they find themselves in the classroom. So their presentation at times is very poor. That's why the qualification is also different. Wherein, because there are numbers of instructors here who I haven't seen an instructor with a master's degree who taught me in school. All of them
Wow.
have, I mean, PhD. They are doctors holders.
Wow.
So, and the reason I too have done a research on it, the reason is very simple. In our country, there we don't have an institution that offer doctoral program.
Mm.
So it is not that it's a magic that they are playing that many of the instructors here are doctors holder. No, it's only because in their environment here they have many institutions that offer doctoral program, and our society do not offer this. That's the only challenge, and that's the difference. But when it comes to teaching, we in Liberia, our teachers are good because if they
I
were
think
not
I
good,
think I think with that is because of the language barrier, and then it will take some time to understand that there are many other countries that don't have English as their major language. So because of
okay,
that, you will find that disparity. But socially, how is it like? How your social life in Kigali? How is it like? I'm talking about that in terms of, for example, besides the school activities, there's other football games, there are other, sporting activities, there are other stuff, It means how you really have found yourself in the sphere of the the environment of either the campus or the community you find yourself. How is the social life? Is it is
Well,
it is that good, or are people rejecting you? Like in other countries, there will be racial thing, but I don't think I want to talk racial thing because in there all you all are all black, right?
yeah.
They, whether you're from Liberia, you're from Kigali or whatever, I think you all there will be no racial problem, I will assume. But maybe sometimes there are some disparity. So you go play football, you playing doing other social activity, you find that distinction. People want to say, people are afraid of you for some reason or something like that. Is there anything like that?
No, 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 no. Right in Kigali, we are all messed up and doing things together, especially when it comes to the social issue. So
Okay.
I've never experienced discrimination or someone looking down on us and stuff. We are good, and then we most time play football together and interact and mess up. So we are
Okay.
okay. Yeah, it's nothing as such.
Wow, that's good. That sounds good. Is
What about the food? Because I know Liberians,
Right,
we
right.
like our food.
Cassava leaf,
One thing,
palm water,
even
kitchen
even
lick,
here in
tteokbokki.
America, we always looking for
Yeah, looking for
Liberian
like
food to eat. We go
I
in
went to South Africa
yesterday.
occasionally. I went to South Africa.
Yeah.
And not only man, we were a group of people that went to South Africa, right? And we couldn't find rice. Everywhere we go, some kind of a funny looking thing, all of those things. Until one evening, somebody directed us to a place, and then we found rice. Can't
They
see
were
us
so
rushing on
happy.
that rice that evening. So that I think that's what she's talking about. How is the food
Yeah,
supply?
yeah.
Yeah. What is you
So that
easily,
issue,
Mm.
come
so the
again?
issue of the food,
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually rice is very expensive here.
Uh,
Hmm.
The smaller bag here is around $40 USD.
okay.
So we have to eat some vegetable and stuff to cope with the system. So we normally don't cook rice here like we usually eat rice in Liberia.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that big bowl thing. Cook that kind of
yeah,
big thing.
But you know the
Man.
people can eat healthier, you know that a lot of vegetables is good. So what about
yeah,
the
so,
palm butter, the potato greens, cassava leaf? You see those things there?
yeah, you can find out about the cost of some of the food you want to eat back home and
Mhm.
seeing it here is quite different.
So
So you
what
will
do
see
they eat? What kind
they
of food?
put vegetable. They will eat
Okay.
Irish potato. They will eat tomato, onion, and stuff. But to tell you that they will rather be eating rice, the cassava, the palm butter, I hardly see it yet.
Have you come
So,
across Liberian community in Kigali? Is there any
oh,
community?
we are here, man. We have
Okay.
like just come in and normal every time. But keep
Okay.
adding the number. So we are here. We are
So
here
so
in
so
different university around Kigali.
to go to the pastor question, they actually have food. You know, this is important in culturation.
Right.
Leave your home, you come to places like this, you adapt to what you see.
Right. Right.
Of
Right.
course.
So here in Rwanda, their major food has to do with vegetable, like he said, and we are oriented to, I mean, the starch food, rice.
Mm-hmm.
So coming here, it helps a lot to introduce us to a different system.
Mm.
Though some part of us never get rid of eating rice
Right.
Of course.
because this is not their major food, rice. So the price for rice is actually high. Like he said, 25 kg rice costs 30 to 40 US dollar. The smaller bag in Liberia.
Mhm.
Okay.
Liberia should be around 15 US. So we will we will buy the rice, and at times we will eat the potato, the plenty, and other things. They have cassava here, yes. They have the beta ball that we have in Liberia. They have it here.
Wow.
They have greens. They actually have greens here, but there's something
You
about the
mean you
green.
mean potato greens?
Yes, they have it here, but they do not eat it. They eat the
Okay.
potato and not the green.
Oh, okay.
So
We will be going for the
we,
greens.
yeah, so we that come from Liberia, we go for the green and forget the potato.
That's a good
Yes,
one.
yes. So this is it, and they have so many different food. They have meat here too, though fish is a bit difficult. I mean, when it comes to the fish we eat in Liberia, I mean, it cannot be compared to what is here. They have here less. As you know, this is a landlocked country,
Mm.
Mm.
so before you get fish here is a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult. You might see
Mhm.
smaller fishes, but we are coping with what they have here. Like I said,
So Kigali has a full-time current. I mean,
Sure.
24/7.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes, full time electricity. Yes.
So you guys are enjoying in the place there.
Of course.
Well, I would say yes.
Yeah,
We
you are
are
sleeping in the
enjoying.
darkness,
I
mosquitoes
would
now.
say yes and
Are the
no. We are enjoying.
mosquitoes visiting that part of Africa too? Or what? Only in Liberia?
Mosquito is here. Yes. Mosquito is here. Mosquito is
Yeah.
here. So
Okay.
for the electricity, yes. They have current here that
Okay.
we can say is, I mean, is stable. They have water that is also running regularly as compared to us in Liberia. I mean,
So you
most
have shower both hot and cold
yes,
water.
yes.
Okay.
Or no,
That's good.
not really both hot and cold, but all of their houses here has shower.
Okay.
Cold, cold.
Okay, cold shower. Okay. Okay.
Full shower.
That's that's
Yes.
that's better
Unlike
than
us, where you have to go to the well and
the
get the
well. Yeah.
water, draw it,
Yes,
everything, and be
yes.
putting
I
it in
mean,
the
all
bucket.
more the communities you see where they're in the houses
Yeah.
they do not have shower. No, it's not here.
So what's about the university politics?
University politics.
Hmm.
Before we talk about university politics, let's talk about politics as a whole in the country.
Okay.
So we have a different style of government, and there are different political structure and practices here, for
Okay.
which I now want to dip into it. I mean, deeply,
Hmm.
but there's no credence. There's no credence for political leadership in every university in Rwanda. Rwanda as a whole, there's no start of, I mean, political practices in
That
schools.
meaning there's no
There's actually
there's no
mandate.
politics on
There's
campuses.
no politics, absolutely no politics.
Okay.
They provide the privilege to students to learn, and they promote other extracurricular activities as it relates to soccer, debate practices, quizzing and other things, but
Mhm.
no sign of political issues, because they're trying to trade back to where
Is
they
that a
came from.
student government then?
No, no, absolutely. But whenever there's no, I mean, sign of politics, then there's no student government. So they
Maybe
have either,
the administration could select someone to handle student affairs. That's what I'm.
well, yeah, but they're in a different way. So we have student representative, international student representative, and the function of the international student
I really
representative
don't
is
expect international students to be involved in their politics, but I
okay.
was just wondering whether, why would a university campus don't have student politics? Politics is not like taking guns or being on demonstration. It's about looking at issues confronting students and being able to address those issues with administration and find solution to problem. Not necessarily like the Liberian context, where people want to demonstrate, they want to go against this and that. That's not. But to have a campus, university campus, where there's no politics, I don't know.
Well, but you never thought, I mean, where it will go, where it will lead. At times it starts with just student leadership, and I mean, disagreements brings about arguments and conflicts. So Rwanda is just from
Yeah,
series of conflicts,
I know.
Yeah.
and
So they try to guide against that.
their thought is small grouping and disagreements were some of those factors to where they found themselves in the past. So in
Okay.
order to create the avenue where there can be form of school politics, will lead them back to where they came from. So these things are not I mean provided, or the privilege is not provided here. But with the Barita students leadership, where they appoint international student representative to, I mean, regulate issues between the administration and that of students as it relates to how students are being processed academically, and if they have challenges within funding apartments and other things in their academic sojourn, they help you with that. But as alluded, no politics. No.
Okay. Okay. My last question, then I'll turn you over to patient, is that the classrooms, are you using chalkboard or are you using computerized, you know, whiteboard system or something like that? Or you just teach you how to come and demonstrate on a board? Are you guys using computers, or what? What is it like?
Thank you very much. Chalkboard is not active here. We use projector, we use computer, we use the flip chart and other stuff, but you don't see chalkboard again in the
Okay.
university. Yeah, sure.
So that's a huge difference, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. There's two. In Liberia, we mostly practice the teacher-made learning, and here is more systematic. So because, like I said, they are trying to compete with, I mean, the international world. So there are numbers of difference that you see in the classroom. So let's start with the computer lab. In the computer area here, there's a full computer lab. When I say full computer lab, it means all of the equipments are there provided, including the electronic board.
Okay.
For the normal classroom, like we who study development studies and other programs, there are whiteboards in the classroom, and they have the flip charts. At the same time, they have projectors. But
Okay.
mostly, all of the teachings are done through, projector.
Projector. Okay.
Yes, so the learning style here, the teacher provide the learning through a PowerPoint presentation. Students are on computer where they
Right.
can go through their notes on their computer to read and then come and do presentation. The most facilitating.
So, any of you had an idea of computer before you went to Kigali, or you
That
went
was
in and
my
you start
question I
struggling?
was about to ask because most of the students in Liberia they just go to school and then they don't even have access to computer or laptops. So
Yeah.
if
Okay.
you were there with all that experience from Liberia, then it's a real challenge.
When I went to
Uh,
Penn State, let me find out. I had a similar situation. Me, I'm not sharing my situation. When I went to do my master's program, it was like the teacher come on in the classroom. You don't want to look for chalk. You just teacher come and make a presentation. The rest of it, it left with you. If I had to tell you, say, okay, we upload this, you have to go and do whatever you want to do. So that's the basis of which I'm asking this question because myself have had, so you used to see me, I would spend more time in the library because of my own limitation to cope with the lesson. So why the American kids, when the time they come, they see a mother thing, then they're gone. So I have to spend my extra time. So that's the reason why I'm asking somebody this question, how you
that's
cope
a
with.
that's a beautiful question, yeah.
Mm.
A similar thing happening to me here because I just came some part of this month, so
You
I
see,
have to
you
go
see
to
a finger, eh? One finger tapping.
yeah,
Type.
I,
Good boy.
yeah, one. So
Okay.
I have to sit with the guys to tell me say, oh my man, you can do the one on the computer and put it so and do
Right,
the one.
right, right, right.
They are
Okay.
kind of me to touch the computer faster and I touch it slower because I did not practice computer to certain
Right.
extent. So
Yeah.
I know I have computer set to even work on it when I was in
Yeah.
doing first
Okay.
degree. So right now I have to have my own and then touch it one at a time. Somebody tutor me, do this and stuff.
That's good. That's good. You will
So
cope.
there's an advantage and a disadvantage in that
Mm.
we come from a system that we are not oriented to the kind of learning
Mm.
where we use computers in our classes.
Okay.
Now, it has been a challenge for us in Liberia, but then it's an advantage for us here. Though you weren't oriented to that, but you come in a system now that you have to learn it, it
Hmm.
forces you to learn it.
Right.
And when you go by, you become different.
Hmm.
So for me, I came with my full knowledge from Liberia. Rwanda did not give me the knowledge of technology of working in the PowerPoint,
Okay.
Excel, Rwanda did not give me that idea. But there's an advancement,
Okay.
there's an improvement. That is, uh, the learning is in two ways. One is in the classroom, and two is a digital learning online.
Hmm.
So I remember a few years ago, I was in Liberia where an instructor decided to take the class session online.
Hmm.
And the entire class, we all started complaining.
I know.
Oh, we don't have data, and no, we can't do this, and no, we are not trained to using, online learning and thing. But here, all of their learning is either in the classroom or online.
Okay.
So it helped me to use different, social media apps and other programs where I get adjusted to how teachers are teaching online. I understand how the online platform like Zoom and other platforms are being used. And I'm learning a lot about how to teach here. Like I said, my contribution is not to work for public institution, but in the private
Okay.
sector. And these are some of the methods that I'm carrying back home to teach other people, to teach online digital learning and things. But I think it's based on their level of technology,
No, that's good. That's good.
because
Okay,
in the
patient. I think it's all yours. I think,
Yeah, but
guys,
we spoke
I wish
about,
you guys good
yeah.
luck. That's how you are open to the international world, and I like the challenge you guys have taken. And we also want to urge all Liberians: you can't sit and fold your hands.
Sure.
There's a global village. There are opportunities out there. The only way you can tap into it is when you are searching. Search for information. I advise people. The United States Embassy is doing their own activities. They have opportunity in there. Go to the U.S. library, find some free time, and do some extra reading, do some research. You might just come across any opportunity. You never will know. But if you sit in your own little corner, you wake up, eat your local cassava leaf, you go to work, you come back, you come in your own room, you sit down there and sleep. The next day you get up, the same routine, in and out. You don't make any challenges. You know, everybody, we are all aging. And the world, the life that we came to live in this world is you live, you age, and you die. So you always have to strive. While other people are going into space, you can't go into space, but strive to do something. Like that, you challenge yourself. When you find yourself, you always just be concerned about areas that you will go that you wouldn't find security issues that will threaten your life. Other than that, pick up the challenge. Don't go by with a slow way. Do your research. You will always find me. Even if you leave Liberia, go to Ghana. It's an experience by itself. You know, leave, you go to Sierra Leone is an experience by itself. We went to Sierra Leone with a student leader who did not take bath for days because they could not use hot and cold or no shower, how to make those things. So it's not a shame. Liberia is behind time. I went to a country, a lawmaker. We could not open our room door to enter. I don't want to call the name here. So that shows how backward our country is. And when people pretend a lot, and these are things that affect people. If you don't know, you don't know. You can't pretend about it. That's what I like Americans for, because they speak the truth. They don't care. They say as the people their own problem, they say it out to you. So it's good that you guys are taking the challenge to go out there. I mean, some of you people could be teachers. Depending on the grades you make over there. Now, from what you have said, is like even those institutions you are in, they are also finding some difficult time for instructional material, because if you don't know the English language very well, it's difficult for you to teach in the English language. So based on your performances, who knows? Some people could be selected, go on some kind of a program where you could become teachers, or you could come back to Liberia and later on your eyes open to the world, and then you can say, why I will spend few time 2 years in Liberia and I had to go back outside there. Like that, you can never tell. The next 2, 3, 5 years, 10 years, they might just be a little different. So I want to say bravo to you too, and to other Liberians who are also taking the challenge to be out there. That's how countries open up. By the time you learn, you go back to Liberia, you are different. And the way you keep conversation with other people, you see things differently. Even the conversation we are having right now, there are few people who just see you guys, they are encouraged. And that's what two-way radio is all about. Let other people see the challenges, and then be able to say, I can do it. Those two guys can do it. I gotta do it. Somebody will even decide today, I'm going to do research to know how they can go. Maybe somebody will even want to get in contact with you guys. How to get over there, how you manage to get over there. You can also teach other people. Don't hold back the information. Share with other people so that they can also find opportunity that they can also improve their life. So I want to say thank
Yeah.
you to the guys, and patient, thank you for the contact of bringing the guys on Two-Way Radio. And anytime you have any problem, hey, just contact Two-Way Radio. We might be there to. Yeah, that's my point. So the rest of
Just
it,
before, just before you go, there's two things I want you to understand. And you were talking about opportunity, young people searching opportunity. There are numbers of young people here, including me.
okay,
I'm on scholarship. Nina, did somebody promise me, say, go, I will send you $50 US a month.
okay,
Many people who came to this country, young people that came to study,
mhm.
and they not come with $5 except for their plane ticket.
Wow,
They came with the hope that I will make it.
yeah,
I will make it in life. It's
Oh, yes.
possible,
Mhm.
including me.
hmm
I came in the country with no help. Before I left Liberia, I asked so many people for assistance, and there were numbers of promises that people could not live up to.
wow,
I hope that I'm going there. For the fact that, I mean, I know the importance of this. I'm going for whatever way that is possible. God will make a way.
good,
So let me include somebody right in the issue. Or a guy from Liberia called TK Sako. That's
hmm
another great example. He's considered a programmer. Mr. Sako came to this country a few days ago on a program here. He came, Master Clark gave him a privilege to speak in Rwanda. We took numbers of Liberians there. while speaking with him, he decided to provide some funds.
Okay.
And these are opportunities. I want
Uh,
to reference him because of, I mean, the kind of contribution he made to some of us.
okay.
So these are ways that we are generating resources to support our education here. We did not come with finance. Nobody promised us, say, go, we'll be sending you
I
money.
know.
And I mean, it's just by the grace of God that we are surviving here and we are getting there, surely.
You will get
Another
there.
issue is with the challenge, the major challenge that we are faced with here has to do with the issue of a representative. And let this go, I mean, beyond this platform.
Mhm.
There's no embassy for Liberia here.
Wow.
Absolutely no embassy. There's no counselor for Liberia here.
Wow.
No counselor. So every Liberian who face issues of passport and other security issues, you find out that they will have to go back home. They will be sent back to Liberia
Wow.
to go face this issue. There are numbers of government officials that have come here. I mean, it is still questionable about where they come. I mean, why they come here and
Yeah.
what do they carry back. Because
Wow.
you come to a country like this, and for every time they come here, Liberians go back to them and put this before them that we are challenged with the issue of embassy. I too, when I came in January my passport got missing.
Wow.
Passport got missing, and I was pressured by the immigration here to go back to my country or present a passport. I could not. That was a very serious challenge for me. I
Wow.
had to send $600 to Liberia for passport. That what they charged me at the Ministry,
Foreign, foreign affairs.
of Foreign Affairs. Six
Wow.
hundred US they charged me from there to get a passport here. So consider a person who come to this kind of country do not have money, he charging them 600 US to obtain a
Wow.
passport. So if we have a representative here as a consul, since we can't get an embassy here, if we have
Mm.
a consul here, he could speak for us.
Right.
Besides me, there are a lot of people who are facing this problem.
Wow.
So yeah, the pastor, you can use this privilege and communicate with other people out there, especially when it comes to our government officials. That
Okay.
whenever they think about Liberia, they should think about Liberians in other countries who are challenged as it relates to embassy or a consular to
Right.
help
Well,
address the problem.
that's a good information
That's a
you have
good one.
revealed, and I think we will emphasize that. I mean, there's platforms being shared with. We have few platforms where some of the basic government officials are always, so when we share them, they listen. All right, I said we decided to ignore these issues, but they do, have these pieces of information available to them. We will also see whether we can probably write a story out of this interview, like what you said, and see whether we can just to add more, publicity to what you just said. So we definitely will try to see what we can do, But again, guys, it's good to be there. Don't give up. Keep, challenging yourself. Sooner or later, you're gonna have this as part of your resume, and you can be assured nobody succeed easily without the kind of a stories. After it all, then you start counting where you came from.
That's right.
People who have succeeded, ask them, they will tell you some bitter story they have had in their lifetime. So we say keep it up and then don't give up. Like you don't
Oh,
have passport, right now you get passport, okay?
yeah,
But that's
yeah.
always the patient is yours.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Jensen. I'll be taking our closing comments now. Emmanuel, want to start with you?
Well, thank you for the privilege and the opportunity given to us to speak to you. Actually, I didn't know that they have similar platform, a platform like this to share our experience from here Kigali to you guys on Asa. But through the invite of my brother or through the sharing of the link or the information, I think we have said some things that we are faced with here that needs improvement. So we appreciate you guys for the job well done. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're
Okay, you're
welcome.
welcome.
Elsie, closing comments?
Okay, so let me say thank you so much, Pastor, for the privilege. I mean, these are reasons why Facebook is all important.
Mm,
It's beyond just hello and hello.
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah, we couldn't have had this opportunity except when I send you the friend request and you okay, and we started talking. So I want to say thank you to uh, the one you share the platform with, that the big brother have listened to our plaques here. And thanks to many of those who are listening right now to what we have to share. There's two things I'm getting. If we were not going to come here, we weren't going to know how development is like here and how we too can take it back and compare it with our country and create change. Because of us here too, you you are able to get information here to share outside there of how life is here with Liberians and
That's right.
how those who want to help can help. So
Right.
I want to say thank you so much for the platform. We hope, I mean, at many times that you will be able to share this platform with us, that we can take it to some of the females too, that
Yeah.
they too share their ideas.
Right.
Like I
Yeah,
said,
Right.
I'm
yeah,
always willing to take, the platform to every young person in Rwanda, that they can share their stories and their stories can serve as a stone or a step that other young people out there, particularly in Liberia, can use as a medium to progress in life. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
you are welcome. Well, this is 2A Radio Roundtable. It has been a pleasure having this discussion with our young Liberians out there in Kigali, Rwanda. And we believe and we hope we will be talking to most of them in some time to come, so we can also hear the experiences as well. And as many that are watching out there, as many that come across this video, you have heard what they have said. They need help in one way or the other, or whatever way you can help. That would be go a very, very long way. So we want to say thank you for watching us. Thank you for joining To a Radio this time. And we will be back here on To a Radio Roundtable. We will be here tomorrow morning with another uh, guest in studio and another interesting discussion. So I want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you to Emmanuel, to Nelson, and to my CEO, Jensen, and to the rest of the audience. We want to say thank you for joining us, and we will be back. This is 2A Radio, and this is 2A Radio Roundtable. Thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.